Let me ask you something most men never want to think about. When was the last time you really paid attention to your urine flow? Or how many times you got up last night to use the bathroom? Once? Twice? Maybe 3 times, and you just brushed it off as getting older? Here's the truth. Your prostate has been trying to talk to you for years, quietly, patiently, giving you small signals most men ignore until that one day in the doctor's office when the conversation suddenly gets serious. I'm Dr. Richard Thompson, a board-certified urologist with over 12 years of experience helping men protect their prostate, their performance, and their peace of mind. And today I want to have an honest man-to-man conversation with you. Because the truth is, prostate problems rarely show up overnight. They build slowly, silently, sometimes for a decade before anyone notices. And by the time most men finally pay attention, the easy fixes are off the table. But here's the good news. If you know what to look for, your body will tell you everything. The signs are there. The warning lights are blinking. You just need someone to translate them. And that's exactly what I'm going to do in the next few minutes. By the end of this video, you'll know precisely what to look for, what it means, and what to do about it. And stay with me until the end, because I'll reveal the one natural protocol I now recommend to every patient over 50, the one that's quietly changing how men age. Don't skip ahead. The most important part comes near the end. All right, gentlemen, let's get to know this little organ that quietly runs so much of your life. Your prostate is about the size of a walnut, tucked just below your bladder, wrapped around the tube that carries urine out of your body. Small, but mighty. Think of it like a traffic controller sitting at a busy intersection. It manages urine flow, contributes essential fluid for intimacy, and plays a quiet but critical role in your overall male vitality. Most men go their entire lives without ever giving it a second thought until something starts going wrong. Here's what most doctors won't tell you. After age 40, your prostate slowly begins to change. It's natural, it's gradual. You won't feel it happening. But by the time you hit 50, studies show most men already have some degree of prostate enlargement without even realizing it. By 60, it's the majority. By 70, almost every man is dealing with it on some level. Now, this isn't meant to scare you. This is biology. It's part of being a man. The prostate naturally grows, hormones shift, and tissues thicken over time. The issue isn't that it changes. The issue is that most men ignore it until it starts squeezing the urinary tract, weakening the flow, disrupting sleep, and quietly stealing their energy and confidence. Think of it like a slow leak in a tire. You don't notice it on day one, but ignore it long enough, and you're stuck on the side of the road. The prostate works the same way. It gives you years of warning. The men who pay attention early stay in control. The men who don't end up in my office wishing they'd listened sooner. Now let's get into the part most men need to hear. The 7 silent warning signs your prostate is sending you right now. Pay close attention, because if you recognize even 2 or 3 of these, your body is already speaking. The question is, are you listening? Sign 1, waking up more than once a night to urinate. This is the most common signal, and the most ignored. If you're getting up twice, 3 times a night, that's not just aging. That's your prostate pressing on your bladder, cutting your deep sleep short, and quietly draining your testosterone production. Sign 2, a weak or interrupted urine stream. Remember when your flow was strong and steady? If it now stops, starts, or trickles, your prostate is narrowing the passage. Think of it like a kinked garden hose. Sign 3, that feeling your bladder isn't fully empty. You finish, walk away, and within minutes you feel like you need to go again. That's not in your head. That's residual urine sitting where it shouldn't. Sign 4, sudden, hard-to-control urgency. When the urge hits and you barely make it, that's your bladder overcompensating for a struggling prostate. Sign 5, difficulty starting. You stand there ready, and nothing happens for several seconds. That hesitation is mechanical pressure, plain and simple. Sign 6, dribbling after you think you're done. Annoying, embarrassing, and a clear sign the muscles aren't fully clearing the line. Sign 7, pelvic pressure that comes and goes. A dull ache, a heaviness, sometimes nothing for weeks. Don't dismiss it. Recognize a few of these? Don't panic. Pay attention. Your body is handing you the map. All right, gentlemen, let's talk about something most men would rather not discuss, but absolutely need to hear. Because your prostate doesn't just affect your bathroom trips, it affects your bedroom too. And the two are far more connected than most men realize. Here's the simple truth. Your prostate, your blood flow, your nerves, and your hormones all work as one team. When one starts to struggle, the others feel it. That's why prostate trouble often shows up first as intimacy trouble. And most men blame themselves, when really their body is just sending a message through a different channel. Watch for these signals. Weaker erections that don't feel as firm or as reliable as they used to. Reduced sensation during climax, like the volume has been turned down. Less fluid when you finish, or sometimes almost none. Fewer morning erections, those quiet daily signs that your circulation and hormones are firing properly. When those mornings start going dark, your body is telling you something is off upstream. Now listen to me carefully. This is not the end of your masculinity. This is not a verdict. This is your body sending a message, and that message has a cause. Sometimes it's blood flow. Sometimes it's hormones. Sometimes it's the prostate pressing on the very nerves and vessels that power your performance. Each of these is decodable. Each of these has a path forward. So if you've been quietly carrying shame, frustration, or fear about these changes, let it go. You haven't lost your power. You're running on a weak signal. And in the chapters ahead, I'll show you exactly why that signal weakens and how to bring it back to full strength. Now that you know the signs, let's talk about the why. Because once you understand what's actually happening inside your body, everything starts to make sense. And it comes down to 3 hidden culprits. Just 3. Remember them and you'll understand more about your prostate than most men ever will. Culprit 1. Poor blood flow. Your prostate is a blood-hungry organ. It needs a steady, rich supply of oxygen and nutrients to stay healthy. But after 50, your circulation begins to slow. Your blood vessels stiffen, narrow, and lose their flexibility. Think of a garden hose left out in the sun too long. It hardens, cracks, and the water barely trickles through. That's what's happening to the tiny vessels feeding your prostate. Less blood in means less life out. Culprit 2. Stromal cell buildup. Here's something most men have never heard of. Around the outer edges of your prostate, certain cells called stromal cells slowly start to accumulate over time. Imagine a quiet little traffic jam building up at the edge of an intersection. Year by year, the jam grows. The prostate enlarges. The urinary passage gets squeezed, and the flow you once took for granted starts to suffer. This cellular buildup is one of the most overlooked drivers of prostate trouble and one of the most important to address. Culprit 3. Hormonal imbalance. After 50, testosterone drops, estrogen often rises, and DHT, a powerful testosterone byproduct, starts pushing the prostate to grow. It's like a traffic light stuck on the wrong signal. The whole system gets confused. 3 culprits, 1 prostate, and every one of them is addressable. All right, gentlemen. Let's talk honestly. I'm not here to lecture you. I'm not here to make you feel guilty about anything. I'm here to help you course correct, because some of the habits we all fall into quietly accelerate prostate decline, and most men have no idea. Mistake 1. Chronic dehydration. When you don't drink enough water, your urine becomes concentrated, irritating the bladder and prostate. You also stop flushing toxins properly. Sip water steadily through the day, not gulps when you finally remember. Mistake 2. Sitting for long hours. Truck drivers, office workers, retirees who settle into the recliner for hours. Prolonged sitting compresses the prostate, reduces blood flow to the pelvic area, and creates the perfect storm for trouble. Stand up every 30 to 45 minutes. Walk, stretch, move. Mistake 3. Highly processed foods, sugar, and refined oils. These quietly inflame the body, including the prostate. Chips, fast food, sugary drinks, fried foods. You don't have to give them up entirely. Just cut back and notice the difference. Mistake 4. Too much alcohol, especially beer. Beer is particularly hard on the prostate because of how it disrupts hormones and irritates the bladder. A drink now and then is fine. Nightly beers after 50, not so fine. Mistake 5. Holding urine too long. When you ignore the urge for hours, you stretch the bladder, weaken the muscles, and put strain on the prostate. When your body says go, go. Mistake 6. Chronic stress and poor sleep. Stress raises cortisol. Cortisol suppresses testosterone, and poor sleep blocks the deep recovery your prostate needs. None of these are personal failures. They're patterns, and patterns can be changed, starting today. Now let's talk about something most men quietly dread, the doctor's office. Here's the truth. The men who walk in early, ask the right questions, and request the right tests almost always stay ahead of prostate trouble. The men who wait, who feel embarrassed, who tell themselves it can wait another year, Those are the men who end up with limited options. So let me walk you through exactly what to ask for. Test 1. The PSA test. A simple blood test that measures prostate-specific antigen. Higher levels can signal inflammation, enlargement, or something more serious. It's not perfect. PSA can rise for many reasons, including a long bike ride or recent intimacy. But as a baseline, it's invaluable. Get it once, then track it over time. The trend matters more than any single number. Test 2. The digital rectal exam. Yes, gentlemen, the one nobody wants. Here's my message to you. It's awkward, it lasts about 15 seconds, and it could save your life. Your urologist can feel the size, shape, and texture of the prostate directly, things a blood test can't always reveal. 15 seconds of mild discomfort for years of peace of mind. That's a trade worth making. Test 3. The follow-ups. If anything looks off, ask about the free PSA ratio, a more refined blood marker. Ask about a urinary flow test, where the doctor measures how strong and complete your stream actually is, and in some cases a prostate ultrasound to get a clear picture of size and structure. Don't let embarrassment cost you your future. The men who get checked are the men who stay strong, stay sharp, and stay in control. All right, gentlemen, let's strike the right balance here. Because not every symptom is an emergency, and not every change means something serious, but there are some red flags you must never ignore. So let me make this crystal clear. The vast majority of prostate changes are completely manageable when you catch them early. A weaker flow, getting up once at night, mild urgency. These are signals, not sirens. They give you time. Time to adjust your habits, support your body, and stay ahead of the curve. This is the zone where simple, consistent care makes all the difference. But there are moments when waiting is dangerous. Pay close attention. Blood in your urine or in the fluid during intimacy, that is never normal. Sudden severe pain in the pelvis, lower back or groin. Don't sleep on that. Fever combined with urinary symptoms. That can signal a serious infection. Complete inability to urinate. That is a medical emergency. Go in immediately. And finally, rapid changes in your symptoms over weeks rather than years. When something shifts that quickly, your body is shouting, not whispering. Here's the hard truth most men need to hear. The wait-and-see approach kills men every single year. Not because the conditions were untreatable, but because the men waited too long. They felt embarrassed. They didn't want to make a fuss. They told themselves it was probably nothing. And by the time they finally walked into a urologist's office, the easy options were gone. So promise yourself this. If something feels seriously wrong, you act. Not next month. Not after the holidays. Today. Because catching things early isn't paranoia, it's wisdom. And wisdom is what keeps a man strong for decades. Now that you know what's working against your prostate, let's talk about what your prostate desperately needs and isn't getting. Because here's something most doctors will never tell you. Your prostate isn't just aging, it's starving. Starving for the very nutrients that keep it strong, calm, and functioning the way it did in your 30s. The modern diet, even when you try to eat well, is severely depleted. Our soils are tired, our foods are processed, our absorption slows with age, and the result? Most men over 50 are running on empty when it comes to the exact nutrients their prostate depends on. Start with the foundational trio. Zinc is essential for healthy hormone production and prostate function. The prostate holds more zinc than almost any other organ in the body. When zinc drops, the prostate weakens. Magnesium keeps your blood vessels relaxed, your nervous system calm, and your sleep deep, the kind of sleep your prostate needs to recover overnight. Vitamin D supports hormone balance, immune function, and the cellular health of the entire male system. 3 simple nutrients, and most men over 50 are deficient in all 3. But here's where it gets really interesting. For thousands of years, long before modern medicine, ancient cultures used specific plants and herbs to support prostate health. Roots from Peru, herbs from India, mountain plants from China, seaside compounds from Tibet. They didn't have lab tests, but they knew these plants worked. And today, modern research is finally catching up, confirming what those traditions understood centuries ago. That brings us to the natural pathway, the real solution. And it starts with one breakthrough discovery that's changing everything. Now listen closely, because this is the part most men have never heard. In 2023, researchers at Fukushima Medical University in Japan made a discovery that's quietly reshaping how we think about prostate health. And it comes back to one simple, powerful idea. Blood flow, Remember those stromal cells we talked about earlier? The ones that quietly build up around the outer edges of the prostate over the years, slowly squeezing the urinary passage and contributing to enlargement? Here's what the Japanese researchers showed. When you support healthy blood flow in and around the prostate, the body becomes far more efficient at metabolizing that cellular buildup. In plain English, better blood flow helps the prostate clean house. This is huge, because most prostate solutions out there focus on hormones or symptoms or surgical fixes. They completely ignore the circulation piece, and yet circulation is exactly what your prostate needs to stay healthy, drain properly, receive nutrients, and clear out the cellular traffic jam that's been building up for years. So how do you support that blood flow naturally? It comes down to one essential molecule, nitric oxide. Let me explain it simply. Nitric oxide is the molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and open up. Think of it like opening the highway for nutrient-rich blood to reach the prostate. When your nitric oxide levels are strong, the highways are wide open. Blood flows freely. Oxygen and nutrients reach every cell. The prostate gets exactly what it needs to function. But here's the problem. After 50, your natural nitric oxide production drops sharply. The highways narrow, traffic slows, the prostate starves. And this, gentlemen, is the missing piece almost every prostate solution overlooks. So, which nutrients actually open those highways and support the prostate the way nature intended? Let me walk you through them. 8 powerful plants and herbs, each with a story, each with centuries of use, and each now backed by modern research. Boron, once found only in the crystallized mineral deposits of Lake Yamdok Cho in Tibet, a trace mineral that supports detoxification, hormone balance, and a healthy inflammation response. Tongkat Ali, used for centuries in the East to support male performance, prostate health, and circulation, a powerful antioxidant that helps the body manage stress and fuel vitality. Ashwagandha, traced back as far as 6000 BC, this ancient herb supports lean muscle, calm energy, fertility, and the gentle detoxification of the prostate. Fenugreek, rich in unique compounds called furostanol saponins, which support prostate function, healthy hormone levels, and libido. Panax ginseng, discovered over 5,000 years ago in the mountains of Manchuria, long used to support healthy blood flow, stamina, sharp cognition, and male desire. Maca root, the ancient Peruvian energy plant, supports drive, mood, hormone balance, and overall vitality. Artichoke extract, nature's quiet aphrodisiac, rich in antioxidants, and known to help release oxytocin, the bonding hormone that fuels intimacy. Nettle root, used for centuries to support urinary tract health, healthy hormone levels, and prostate function. And alongside these 8, the foundational mineral trio: zinc for hormones, magnesium for relaxation and sleep, vitamin D for whole body male health. Now imagine getting all of these in the precise synergistic ratios in one simple glass a day. After years of seeing the same prostate problems show up in my clinic, I went looking for a formula that combined everything we just talked about: the blood flow support, the ancient herbs, the foundational minerals, all in one clean, potent blend, and I finally found it. It's called Prostavive. Prostavive is a powerful, all-natural formula that brings together the 8 ancient nutrients and the 3 essential minerals we just covered in the precise ratios needed to support prostate blood flow, healthy nitric oxide levels, and the cellular environment around the prostate. One simple glass a day. That's it. Now picture what this looks like in your real life. Sleeping through the night again, without that 2 a.m. trip to the bathroom. A strong, steady urine flow that finishes when you decide it's finished. Waking up with that natural morning strength you thought was gone. Energy that holds steady from sunrise to sunset. The confidence to be fully present with your partner again. Sharper mental clarity. Better mood. More vitality, a healthier prostate, healthier blood pressure, healthier blood sugar, and the peace of mind that comes from knowing you're being proactive about your future. This isn't another pharmacy aisle supplement. It's a carefully formulated blend, backed by emerging research, with ingredients sourced from the purest origins, designed to work synergistically rather than as scattered single nutrient pills. Gentlemen, I've made it as simple as possible for you. You don't have to hunt for it. You don't have to compare 10 brands online. Just click on the logo of my channel right here on this page. That's where you'll find the link to Prostavive. Take a moment, look it over, and decide if you're ready to take back control of your prostate, your sleep, your love life, and your future. Remember, your best years can still be ahead of you, but only if you act on what your body is telling you today. Don't wait until the warning signs become emergencies. Be proactive, be confident, and stay blessed. I'll see you in the next one.